Have you ever thought that something as simple and healthy as walking could actually be harming you or someone you love without you even knowing it? For many seniors, walking is more than just exercise. It's a symbol of independence, freedom, and staying youthful. But here's the shocking truth. For certain people over 60, walking the wrong way or at the wrong time can silently damage joints, increase fall risk, or worsen hidden medical conditions. In this video, we'll explore the 5 types of seniors who need to rethink how they walk, blending cutting-edge scientific research with timeless Buddhist mindfulness. We'll uncover how awareness, not just movement, is the key to vitality. Through this lens, walking becomes a form of meditation, not just motion. So if you're in your golden years or care for someone who is, don't miss this. Because by the end of this video, you won't just learn how to walk more, you'll learn how to walk wiser, with greater intention, safety, and strength. Stay tuned. What you discover could change the way you move through life, quite literally. Number 1, seniors with unstable blood pressure. As we age, the body's natural systems for regulating blood pressure become more sensitive and prone to fluctuation. For seniors living with unstable blood pressure, whether it tends to spike unexpectedly or drop suddenly, taking long or brisk walks can pose real risks to health and safety. While physical movement is important, it's equally vital to approach exercise with awareness and caution. Why blood pressure spikes or drops during walking? Sudden changes in blood pressure during walking are often caused by the body's delayed response to movement. When standing up or moving suddenly, blood may pool in the lower extremities, especially if blood vessels don't constrict efficiently due to aging. This can lead to orthostatic hypotension, a sudden drop in blood pressure that causes dizziness, fainting, or fatigue. On the other hand, some seniors experience sharp spikes in blood pressure during even mild physical activity. This may be due to medications like beta blockers or diuretics, which alter how the heart and kidneys manage fluid and circulation. Diuretics can lead to dehydration and electrolyte imbalance, while beta blockers slow the heart rate and reduce the body's ability to respond quickly to physical stress. These imbalances can cause walking to become not only uncomfortable, but potentially dangerous, particularly when unmonitored or performed outdoors without support. In Buddhist thought, the body is not an enemy to overcome, but a wise teacher offering signals. Fluctuating blood pressure, dizziness, or fatigue are not weaknesses. They are compassionate messages from the body, encouraging us to slow down, breathe, and adapt. Mindfulness teaches us to observe without judgment. If walking leads to unease or instability, it may be time to shift from striving to understanding. As the Buddha once said, health is the greatest gift. Respecting that gift means honoring what the body tells us, even when it asks for rest instead of exertion. For those with unstable blood pressure, traditional walking can be replaced with safer, equally beneficial alternatives. Short indoor walks, use the hallway, a garden path, or even pacing between rooms with support nearby. Chair-based movement. Gentle leg lifts, arm stretches, and joint rotations done while seated can improve circulation. Breathing meditation. Conscious breathing enhances oxygen flow and calms the nervous system, indirectly supporting blood pressure regulation. These low-impact options reduce strain while still offering physical and mental benefits. Consult a doctor before beginning any new physical activity if you experience dizziness, lightheadedness, or irregular heartbeats during walks. Monitor blood pressure regularly using a home cuff. Take readings before and after activity to track patterns and share them with your healthcare provider. Stay hydrated and ensure you are not skipping meals, as low blood sugar can compound low blood pressure symptoms. Your safety is the foundation of any health journey. With self-compassion, awareness, and the right adjustments, movement can still be part of your life, just at a rhythm your body respects. Number 2, seniors with severe joint degeneration. As we age, many of us begin to experience stiffness, pain, or even grinding sensations in our knees, hips, and other major joints. These symptoms are often signs of severe joint degeneration, a condition deeply rooted in science yet also carrying powerful emotional and spiritual implications. From a medical perspective, joint degeneration typically refers to the breakdown of cartilage, the flexible, shock-absorbing tissue that cushions our joints. Over time, due to wear and tear, inflammation, or previous injuries, this cartilage wears away. When that protective layer is gone, bone rubs against bone, causing pain, swelling, and a loss of mobility. This condition, known as osteoarthritis, affects millions of seniors and is one of the most common reasons why older adults reduce physical activity or avoid movement altogether. Yet, from a Buddhist lens, we are reminded that this body, with all its aches, frailties, and changes, is still a sacred temple. It houses our consciousness and allows us to experience life. And as with any sacred space, it deserves gentle, compassionate care. Instead of forcing it through pain or criticizing it for its limitations, we are invited to listen more deeply, to honor its messages without judgment. When we walk slower, stretch more gently, or rest more often, we are not giving up. We are practicing mindful self-respect. For seniors experiencing joint degeneration, traditional forms of exercise such as jogging or squatting may no longer be appropriate, and that's okay. There are softer, safer alternatives that promote healing and flexibility without harming the joints further. Pool walking is an excellent low-impact choice, as water supports body weight and reduces stress on the knees and hips. Recumbent cycling allows for cardiovascular health and leg strength while keeping the joints stable. Tai Chi, often called meditation in motion, improves balance, coordination, and joint mobility in a gentle, flowing manner. And for those drawn to the spiritual path, walking meditation on grass or soft earth can be a profoundly healing practice, combining awareness, breath, and movement in nature. Still, many seniors feel a quiet shame or embarrassment about slowing down. In a culture that glorifies youth and speed, becoming slower can feel like a failure. But from a spiritual standpoint, this slowing down can be a gift, a return to presence, a chance to connect with the body in deeper, more meaningful ways. Rather than pushing through pain, compassionate fitness invites us to move with kindness, to adapt with wisdom, and to reclaim the joy of movement in forms that truly nourish us. In Buddhism, we are taught that suffering arises when we resist what is. So perhaps the path forward isn't to deny our aging joints, but to befriend them, to walk beside our pain with gentleness, to let go of the need to be as fast or strong as we once were, and instead embrace the power of simply being present in this moment, exactly as we are. Number 3, post-surgery recovery for seniors. Recovering from surgery is a critical stage for seniors, especially when the operation involves joints, ligaments, or bones. Often, surgeries like knee replacements, hip reconstructions, or shoulder repairs require months, not weeks, of careful, structured healing. Medically, one of the key issues after surgery is ligament strain. Ligaments, the tough connective tissues that stabilize our joints, are highly vulnerable during and after surgical intervention. Even after the wound has closed, the internal healing process continues for a long time, typically 6 to 12 months, depending on the procedure. This timeline reflects not just the mending of tissue, but the gradual reactivation of stabilizer muscles, those deeper muscle groups that protect our joints and help us move safely. From a Buddhist perspective, recovery can be likened to rebuilding your inner house after a great storm. The surgery was the storm, violent, chaotic, yet ultimately necessary to cleanse or restore. But now, in the aftermath, we must not rush to paint the walls or put up the curtains before the foundation is stable again. Just as monks rebuild their monasteries stone by stone, the body too requires a patient, step-by-step restoration of its strength, flexibility, and balance. This is a time for mindful rebuilding, not forceful pushing. Many seniors make the mistake of returning to activity too soon, eager to reclaim their independence. But one of the scientific markers that it's too soon is lingering swelling, sharp localized pain, or a limping gait that persists. Physical therapy should be approached in phases. First, gentle range of motion exercises. Next, light muscle engagement. And only later, balance and resistance work. Walking protocols vary, but generally involve short distances at first, avoiding stairs and uneven surfaces, and slowly increasing duration week by week under professional guidance. In Buddhist teachings, this process is deeply tied to the virtue of right effort, samavayama, one of the elements of the Noble Eightfold Path. Right effort doesn't mean trying hard in a blind, stubborn way. It means putting forth appropriate, skillful energy without clinging to impatience or frustration. We learn to walk again not just with our legs, but with awareness. We begin to appreciate the value of stillness, the wisdom in rest, and the growth that comes not from speed, but from harmony. To recover well is not merely to restore function, it is to learn how to live differently, with more care, more attention, and more gratitude. When seniors embrace this inner transformation, recovery becomes not a setback, but a spiritual path, a chance to dwell fully in the present moment and to honor the body's quiet, miraculous work of healing. Number 4, seniors with peripheral neuropathy. Peripheral neuropathy is a condition often associated with diabetes and age-related nerve degeneration, where the nerves in the feet and legs begin to lose their ability to transmit signals accurately. For many seniors, this can manifest as numbness, tingling, or even burning sensations in the lower limbs. But beneath these symptoms lies a deeper issue, the breakdown in communication between the body and the brain, especially in regard to balance and movement coordination. Scientifically, this disruption primarily affects something known as proprioception, our body's innate sense of where it is in space. Proprioceptors are specialized sensory receptors found in our muscles, joints, and skin that constantly send feedback to the brain about posture, pressure, and position. When neuropathy dulls these signals, seniors may no longer feel their feet properly, making simple actions like walking across a room or standing up from a chair far more hazardous. The brain receives delayed or distorted information, forcing the body to adapt its gait, often leading to a wide stance, shuffling, or compensatory movements that increase fatigue and strain. These adaptations, while helpful in the short term, can contribute to long-term instability and a significantly increased risk of falls. From a Buddhist perspective, this loss of sensory clarity is not just a medical concern, but also a spiritual invitation, a chance to cultivate deeper awareness of the body through walking with mindfulness. The Buddha himself taught mindful walking as a way to unite the mind and body, to be fully present in each step. For seniors living with neuropathy, this principle takes on profound relevance. Even if sensation is diminished, the practice of tuning in with the earth, listening inwardly, and gently guiding the body's movement with full attention can foster a renewed sense of control, peace, and even healing. Rather than pushing through numbness or ignoring discomfort, mindfulness encourages a kind curiosity toward each step. Slowing down becomes an act of wisdom, not weakness. Each movement, however small, becomes a meditation in itself. The act of walking transforms from a struggle into a sacred reconnection between body and awareness. Thankfully, there are practical alternatives that align both with medical advice and mindful practice. One such alternative is the use of sensory barefoot mats at home. Textured surfaces that stimulate nerve endings on the soles of the feet, gently reawakening proprioceptive feedback in a safe environment. For those with more advanced neuropathy or mobility issues, seated leg activations, such as foot flexes, toe curls, or ankle rotations, can help maintain circulation and neural engagement without the risks of standing or walking. Another beneficial practice is mindful balance work, such as standing near a wall or sturdy chair and focusing intently on subtle shifts in body weight, gently challenging the balance system without overwhelming it. In essence, peripheral neuropathy need not be a sentence of decline. With scientific understanding, compassionate awareness, and thoughtful daily practices, seniors can reclaim a sense of balance, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually as well. Number 5, seniors with unexplained fatigue or shortness of breath. One of the most alarming yet often overlooked signs in older adults is a sense of unexplained fatigue or shortness of breath during simple activities like walking, climbing stairs, or even engaging in a long conversation. These symptoms are not merely a result of aging. They may indicate serious underlying health conditions such as heart failure, anemia, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, or atrial fibrillation. To truly understand fatigue and breathlessness, we must explore how oxygen is transported in the body. Oxygen is inhaled into the lungs, binds to hemoglobin in red blood cells, and is pumped throughout the body by the heart via cardiac output, the total volume of blood the heart pumps per minute. When the heart is weakened, as in heart failure, when blood lacks sufficient hemoglobin, as in anemia, or when the lungs cannot efficiently exchange gases, as in COPD, the body experiences oxygen deficiency. This leads to exhaustion, dizziness, and a lack of energy for everyday tasks. In cases of atrial fibrillation, irregular heart rhythms impair the heart's pumping efficiency, resulting in poor circulation and ongoing fatigue or breathlessness. From a Buddhist perspective, the breath is not merely a biological function, it is the bridge between body and mind. When older individuals notice subtle changes in their breathing, whether shallow, interrupted, or rapid, it can be viewed as a gentle signal from the body. The Buddha taught that returning to the breath allows us to recognize suffering and uncover its root cause. Breath reflects our inner state and reveals deeper imbalances. Mindful practitioners are encouraged to observe the breath as a spiritual practice. Each inhale and exhale is an opportunity to better understand the nature of physical discomfort, impermanence, and the importance of letting go. In the face of illness, breath becomes a tool for listening to the body and a reminder to care for one's health with awareness and compassion. In addition to medical treatment, seniors can incorporate gentle alternatives that support respiratory function and circulation. Slow pranayama breathing, a yoga technique, helps expand lung capacity, calm the nervous system, and increase oxygen saturation. Qigong, slow, meditative movements coordinated with breathing that promote energy flow, strengthen immunity, and instill peace. Seated resistance training, using light resistance bands or small weights while seated to build muscle without overstraining the cardiovascular system. By integrating scientific knowledge, mindful breathing, and gentle movement, older adults can better manage fatigue and breathlessness, preserving not only their physical well-being, but also a deep sense of peace and dignity in their later years. As we reach the end of this journey, let's reframe how we think about walking. It's not a competition, a race to prove endurance, or a sign of how tough we are. Walking, especially in our senior years, is a sacred ritual, an act of self-respect, a way to connect with our breath, our body, and the ground beneath us. Each step can become a practice in mindfulness, a gentle reminder that we are alive, aware, and still capable of moving forward. Whether you're someone struggling with balance, joint pain, fatigue, cardiovascular concerns, or recovering from surgery, walking less doesn't mean giving up. It means shifting to what your body truly needs. Instead of pushing through discomfort, you can focus on chair exercises, water-based movements, Tai Chi, or even guided meditation. These alternatives honor your body's current reality while still nurturing strength and vitality. In Buddhist teaching, we're reminded that walking with wisdom is walking in harmony with your aging body. Wisdom doesn't force, wisdom flows. So let this truth settle in your heart. Slowing down is not giving up, it's waking up. It's choosing presence over pressure. And most importantly, it's realizing that real strength isn't in ignoring pain, but in listening deeply to your body's quiet signals. Which of the 5 examples resonated most with your life right now? We invite you to like this video, share your reflections in the comments, and subscribe for more mindful insights. Share this video with someone you love. You never know whose life you might touch. At Buddhist Mindfulness, our mission is to merge the timeless wisdom of spirituality with the evolving science of modern health, supporting seniors on a journey of awareness, compassion, and vitality. Let's walk this path together.